everyone, it's Victor here once again, and welcome to Victor's Tiny Kitchen, where we cook our Filipino favorites and more. And for today, we will be going to show you how to cook fish escabeche, and I'm using Seabass fish here. So let me show you the ingredients. So guys, let me walk you through the ingredients. First, I have fish here, about 2 kilos of sea bass. You can use any other fish like tilapia or whatever you have in your fridge. But as for me, I have sea bass here. It looks gorgeous and fresh. And then I have a good amount here of freshly chopped ginger. This is an option here. This is lemongrass. Back in the Philippines, we use a lot of this ingredient. And this time I'm going to incorporate this into my escabeche. It will definitely add tanginess into your dish. I just chopped it very finely, like coarse salt. So that it's easy to cook it up. And then I have about 5 cloves of garlic that I finely chopped. And I have 1 piece of small-sized lemon here. We're going to extract the juice of it later on. I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. You can use white sugar if you prefer to use it. I have 2 tablespoons of corn flour. We're going to dilute it later with water. This is what we're going to use to thicken our sauce later on. And then I have 1 small-sized onion that I have finely chopped. And then I have half of each of regular sized red bell pepper and green bell pepper. And then I have 1 piece of carrot here that I crinkle cut. And then I have a good amount here of green onions. I have 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I have 4 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. If you have white vinegar or cane vinegar, it's okay. I prefer to use balsamic vinegar to other types of vinegar. It's just an option. And then we're going to be using this canola oil to fry up our fish later. And then definitely we're going to be using freshly ground pepper and some salt to taste. So that's pretty much our ingredients, and so let's get right at it. So I have here with my big pan, and we're going to use this one to fry up our big fish over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start heating our pan here. And of course we're going to pour in a good amount of oil into our pan over here. And while waiting for oil to heat up, I'm going to show you how to prepare our fish. So the first step of preparing your fish is we're going to make a cut in the middle. And then we're going to do a cross. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So your fish should look like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that's it. So we've created grids on both sides of the fish. And then we're going to salt all the cavities that we have created. Make sure that there's salt in the nook and cranny of your fish. And then we're going to do the same thing on the belly area. The reason why we're doing this is because fish like this, especially sea bass, they take a lot of salt in order for them to taste that really good. So that's done. And then what I'm going to do right now is just to add some freshly ground pepper on both sides. Okay, so that's done. So our oil is nice and hot in here, and now we can put in our fish. Just be careful of the splatter. And make sure that oil is already hot when you put in your fish, especially when you're not using non-stick pan like this, because your fish is going to stick into the bottom of your pan. You would have a hard time like flipping it over later on. So we will wait for our fish to cook on this side, and then once it's cooked, then we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to show you later on. So once your fish is cooked on this side, then you can flip it over. So once your fish is cooked through, you can take it off the pan and then transfer it to a plate lined with paper towel. So we're going to take off our fish from our pan. Gotta be careful not to break your fish. And as you can see, there's so much flavor in this oil right now. So we're going to use some of it to saute our vegetables later. We're back here with another pan, and this time I'm going to use a smaller pan because that one is way too big for me to saute my vegetables. But like I said, we're going to use some of the oil that we use to fry up our fish to saute our vegetables because obviously there's so much flavor in that oil. So that is what we're going to do right now. And see, this is the fish that we just fried up. It's cooked through both sides. So the next step is to fry up our fish, and we're going to put some oil into this pan over here. So that is enough oil. And it's nice and hot, so we're going to start sauteing the vegetables now. I'm going to show it to you guys. So our oil is nice and hot here, so we're going to add our lemongrass. So once it's a little bit brown like this, then you can add your ginger. Once your ginger is golden, then you can add your onions. Once your onions translucent, you can add your garlic. And then you can put in your carrots. And then you can add in your green and red bell peppers. Half of the scallions or green onions. And then at this point, we're going to dilute our corn flour here with water and add it in. Give it a mix. So as you can see, our vegetable here has dried up since we put in our corn flour. What we're going to do right now is we're going to put in our mixture of sugar, balsamic vinegar, and lemon juice. And we're going to add in a little bit of water as well. So we're just going to stir it and bring it to a simmer. So at this point, our sauce is cooked. And as you can see, this is the right consistency that I'm looking for. And the final step is to pour this onto our fish. And that's what we're going to do right now. But first, we're going to taste it for salt. No more salt needed. So we're just going to turn this off right now. So we're done with our sauce and we've fried up our fish. And the final step is to just transfer this fish into this dish, and we're going to pour in our sauce into it. So I'm going to show it to you how it looks. So we're back here, and finally our fish escabeche is done. And it's right in front of me, and I'm going to taste it right now. And I'm going to eat this with my steamed white rice mixed with brown rice. This is a good size. Take some of the vegetables, sprinkle it on top of my rice, some sauce. My sauce is a bit sticky, but that's what I like. Some fish, and then rice and vegetables. Yummy. The fish tastes so good. I think the one single nice thing that I did with my fish during the prep is when I scored and created grids on my fish and sprinkled every nook and cranny of it with salt. That helped bring out the goodness of the taste of this fish. And the combination of the sweetness, the sourness, they're so infused into the fish, and it's so good. Definitely reminds me of my childhood when my mom used to make this one for us. Sometimes we'd even use just the dried salted fish and cook it like this, and that fish, even if it's kind of boring sometimes, the dried fish, but when you cook it this way, it becomes special. And because we're using sea bass here, which is kind of a nice fish, it elevates our escabeche into some higher level, and that's what's great about it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like what I did today, and if you haven't yet, please don't forget to click the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye now.